Finally here, sorry about the delay to this game. We stayed with the cycling, it was very, very exciting, but now it's ice hockey, World Ice Hockey Championships, the Swedes against the Finns. Great rivalry here. 6 minutes gone in the first period, no score, but is this a physical battle? Right from the opening face-off, the Swedes came out hitting, as did the Finns. The Swedes with Karnback rattling Laukkanen into the boards right in front of the team bench. He stayed down for several seconds. He's on the bench and he's a bit shaken up, but boy, is this one a tough battle. Both teams having one player sent to the bench a while ago, both goaltenders being tested, but Bopes, no score. It's tough out there.
It certainly is. Roger Johansson getting involved with Nieminen on this play. Johansson's a guy that has been in the penalty box for Sweden. He went to the penalty box along with Virta from Finland for fisticuffs in front of the goal earlier. This is going to be one tough one for the Russian referee to control.
Galinovsky is the man with the stripes and the red armband. He's in charge. Karabanov and McTague are the linesmen, a Russian and a Canadian. Hansen on the wing is calling forward as that's put down. Jonsson looks back in the corner. Berglund picks it up for Sweden. Long pass up the middle. Laukkanen gets a big hook in there as Lehtinen picks it up, drops it off, and the Finns now started up the ice. Mulish between the pipes for Finland. Lehtinen now comes down on Salo, shot right on goal, rebound goes behind the net. Jonsson takes his man back and the Finns come up with a big move. Koivu on Stillman, big hit by Koivu, knocking Stillman down. Oh, this crowd really loving this game. No love lost between these two teams.
Koivu, not the biggest of guys, a good goal scorer and showing that he can play physical hockey as well. Questioning the ref's decision, but he will go to the penalty box and now sits himself down for 2 minutes unless the Swedes score first. Good action, as earlier Shodin, who's a power play expert, we're going to see him on the power play, was turned inside out by Lehtinen.
Koivu going in for charging.
Stillman being given a rough ride on that hit by Koivu.
I didn't see the charge on that. Lehtinen a moment earlier testing Salo from close in. Puck bounces into the Swedish zone and Roger Johansson picks it up. Sundin overskates that and here come the Swedes. Johansson at the blue line, taps it all the way in. Big Matt Sundin is in there. Mikael Johansson trying to get something going with Sundin. Chopped away as far as Svensson. Svensson's got the big shot if he can get the room to get it away. Virta goes in hard. Sundin with his back out to the rink, working along the boards. Johansson. Out front is Karnback, a big chop on Kiprusoff, but Kiprusoff stays there. And the Finns take it slowly down the ice. A 2-on-2 situation. Big shot coming from Kapanen, and that is deflected high.
Finns not sitting back and allowing the Swedes to set it up. Virta being very physical in the corner and Kapanen racing down the ice and getting a shot off. The Finns aren't holding back even though they're down a man.
Gives us the opportunity to say hello to everyone in Sweden. We know there are a lot of people in Sweden, Finland, and Norway watching this, and in particular, Mr. Peter de Reitz. I hope I pronounced your name right. He sent us a fax from Magnus Anderson AV, and we thank you for your comments, your complimentary comments, and the information about Stefan Orenskog. I hope I've got it right. His name actually means eagle forest, something we didn't know and that we will cherish for a long time. Thank you, Mr. de Reitz. Coming down on goal, long shot attempted there, deflected into the corner, bodies flying all over the place. Tommy Shodin gets up. Paolo gets up very slowly indeed.
Paolo doing the business for Finland, creating problems for the Swedes once again, who did have the man advantage until Shodin manhandled Paolo behind the goal. That'll even things up.
Both teams throwing the bodies around in the early stages in this one.
Chodin coming back from the Quebec Nordiques. Got his opportunity to show his stuff on the power play. Did a good job this year in the NHL.
Orenskog up against Keskinen, who wasn't in the lineup for the first game. And the Finns now with the puck in the Swedish zone, passing that through a chance. Salo right, coming out of his net. And Salo didn't have to make the save. Orenskog was right there, and he took it right in front of the goal. Shot deflected into the corner, all the way back. Jutila lets it fly. Jutila tried to pop it back in again, and the Finns now applying a lot of pressure. Makala working in hard. Svensson taking it out of the zone by himself. Svensson doubles back. Koivu back on the ice, and the Swedes now under pressure as Anderson, with a 5-on-4 situation, tries to get it out of the zone. Flipped up and all the way down the ice. Kiprusov for Finland. 1 minute now in the power play as Kiprusov, with the clock approaching the 10-minute mark, takes it over the blue, drops it off for Koivu, and there's an offside whistle.
Koivu will stay on the ice for the power play. Chodin anxiously awaits his opportunity to get back into the game. The Finns will have the man advantage.
Kurt Lindström, the Swedish coach, working with the Finnish side, and Kurt Lundmark, the Swedish coach, working with the Swedish side. Drop pass, and the Finns now starting it up from the top of the circle. Peltonen taps it through. Koivu starts to work into the corner. Svensson goes after Koivu. Rattled off the boards all the way back to the blue line and out over the red line. Down to Mulish. Kiprusov slowly up the middle. Lays it off to the left wing. Finland and Sweden going at it 100% here in the opening stages. A chance now for Hansen. Hansen with room to move out there. Elects just to flip it back into neutral ice. And that goes all the way down into the Swedish zone.
Good play by Kiprusov to take Hansen out of the play.
Right in front, Mulish, great save, another shot. Chodin stepped out of the penalty box and was right there. Shot on Salo. Chodin and Anderson that was, working right in front as the Finns take it deep into Swedish territory.
Swedes looking for a change. They've got 3 defensemen on the ice right now after Chodin has come out of the box.
Helminen can't do anything as he popped over the line, and the Swedes now with Karnback feeding it up. Sundin, yes, that's number 1.
Sundin showing his size and his speed, getting around the outside on a nice pass. The Swedes strike first. What a goal by Mats Sundin. For a guy his size, can he ever motor? Backhand pass from Bergqvist. Sundin with a step on the defense. There's no way Stromberg will get back on him. Stromberg pivots. It's always going to be too late. Sundin puts the puck on the forehand and goes upstairs.
Excellent move by Mats Sundin as he cut in on the left wing. Larson fails to get that one, and Virta picks it up with the blue. 1-0 the score. The Swedes leading the Finns in this one. Little tip up, and Finland looking to get into this one very quickly indeed. Shot, and Salo, and the defenseman back there, Johansson, having problems with that. Forsland, Berglund. Loose puck is eventually kicked away. Nieminen and Makala. Virta goes back on the D. Virta will chase into the corner for this one. Kiprusoff waiting out front as that comes to the top of the circle. The shot is deflected away. Loose puck in front, and Berta goes in as number 12, Dakel, was hit from behind. Another shot from close in. Mulish went down. That deflects to the far side of the rink. Johansson backhands it over the red line. Mulish watching as the Swedes control this portion of the game. Right to the top of the circle. 23, Anderson gets it over to the far side. Another shot. Mulish goes down and deflects it away. Larson in the corner. Keskinen slows it down along the left side, drops it back. Both teams going for a change on the fly. Berta has been out there a long time, puts it up into neutralized territory. Peltonen astride offside on the plate.
Both teams on the move, getting fresh legs out there. Larson getting his line off the ice. Larson, Anderson, and number 12, Dakel had a good shift, putting a lot of forechecking power on against the Finns. The Finns coming back after they changed their lineup, going just offside. Koivu's move was a nice one, but just ahead of him was Peltonen.
Koivu up against Orenskog. Stillman fires that to the far side, and Koivu goes in to bat that down, but that didn't work. Mulish leaving it for Jutila. Lehtinen trying to get the pass. That was ahead of Lehtinen, ahead of Koivu. It bounces back in, and we have another face-off coming up. 1-0 the score. The Swedes leading the Finns. This is live on Eurosport.
One thing is to watch the good shots going in at the net, and some of the hits being made, but away from the play, there's a lot of good stuff as well. Number 20, Jansson, that is, Jorgen Jansson, chased the puck around the goal and all the way back down the ice. A good job of back-checking by Jansson, making it difficult for the Finns.
Excellent crowd here, a lot of support for both teams. Face off in neutralized territory. Jansson steps in. Curry was there too. Orenskog, Hämäläinen, Helminen for Finland, working with Curry. Curry loses that for a moment, grabs it back and works up the right side. Jari Curry head-manning the puck. Helminen couldn't hang on to that. Hämäläinen gets it and fires it all the way down. Stillman is there to pick it up. Fredrik Stillman works up the left side. Stillman. Karnbach. Karnbach has got the legs, and they're taken right out from underneath them. Back on the attack. Curry feeds it through to the red line. This is better for the Finns. Helminen slams on the brakes. Curry takes the shot, rebounds, and they score! Curry and Helminen did a lot of the work out there. Salo beaten for the first time in this game. Kapanen was right in front of the goal.
Kapanen not willing to be covered by the Swedish defenseman, got himself away from the Swedes. Curry gets the shot off. Kapanen's tied up, but he's not happy with that. He keeps his concentration, has his stick on the ice, and puts the tying goal in the net.
Well, the Swedes unable to move Kapanen from in front of the net. 1-1 the scoreline now here in the first period. Kiprusoff backhands it over to an open wing, and that goes deep. Bergqvist slams on the ice, hoping for a pass to come his way. That didn't work, but it still ends up in the zone. Sundin goes in hard. That's flipped over to the far side. Kiprusoff head-manning the puck up to the blue line. A chance now for the Finns, but Alatalo unable to beat Svensson to the puck. Svensson hangs on, Alatalo muscles, and they both go at it in the corner. Johansson provides a little interference. Alatalo still fighting out there, and Svensson has the puck. Paolo takes him on this time, and he wins that battle. Bergqvist throws it out into the middle of the rink, and that's popped over onto the far wing.
Sundin just hammered one of the Finns right in front of the referee.
Mulish, big save right in the crease. Laukkanen going after Johansson.
Again, Sundin in front of the goal, getting involved. Players are really roughing it up. Johansson going in all alone, really had a hard time getting a handle on the puck. It was standing up, not an easy one for the forward to get a hold of. Mulish just held his ground, made 2 saves, and then covered the puck. Sundin getting away with 3 or 4 good shots, so the referee was right in front of him on the first one.
Svensson getting physical in the corner on Alatalo, and then eventually picks him up and flips him on his back. I'd give him a couple of points for that.
WWF wrestling all the way on that one.
The only thing about this is it's for real.
Yeah, that's true. It isn't fake. It does hurt.
Face-off deep in Finnish territory as the frantic pace of this game continues. Keskinen ties his man up on the face-off, and the Finns win the draw and take it out into neutral ice territory. Flip over the far side, and Ornskog shoots it into the zone. That goes behind Mulish, and the Finns will try to bring it out again. A little tip up to Keskinen. Keskinen's pass hits a skate. Nieminen right in front of the goal. Stillman. Ornskog. A chance for the Swedes as the players continue to play right up to the blue line, and eventually the whistle blows and the hooking penalty is called.
Swedish goaltender legging it to the bench as Nieminen had the delayed call against him. The crowd called that one well ahead of the referee. Nieminen pulling his man down deep in Swedish territory. That was always going to be a 2-minute penalty. Stillman putting a move on Nieminen. Nieminen spins him around and knocks him to the ice.
Power play situation coming up now. Nieminen gets called for hooking.
Seen a line change for the Finns already as Keskinen has come back into the lineup. He's now playing with Nieminen and Makala. In the first game, the Finns had number 17, Jari Kurri, going with Nieminen and Makala.
Lehtinen and Koivu were out there up front to kill it off for the Finns. Dribbled all the way down into Swedish territory. Sundin races back in a hurry. Sundin with that big stride. A drop pass for Svensson. Svensson's got the big shot. Hits the blue line. Svensson comes in, throws it over to the wing. Sundin pops it back. Johansson tries to get something going as that comes back to the blue line. Hämäläinen tries to muscle into the corner, back to the blue. And the Swedes now set it up. Take a shot. Mulish. Big save with the pads on Johansson from back at the blue. Svensson goes in to try to grab that, and it's cleared down the ice.
Swedes not being given a lot of time, but they don't really need it. They move the puck around so quickly.
The pass up to Johansson was a 2-liner. So the face-off will go back to where this pass originated.
Neither team can afford to take penalties. Both of these sides have excellent power plays. Big shot coming from the blue line. Mulish getting the pads out.
Face-off just inside the zone. Verta gets a piece of that and steers it away from Bergqvist. Johansson is back. Another Johansson picks it up. Coming up to the final 3.5 minutes, the Swedes setting it up slowly but building gradually over the blue. Sundin takes it into the hash marks. Sundin tries to get it out front. He does, but there aren't any yellow shirts there. Svensson is caught on the blue line. 2-on-1 situation. Kurri goes in, shoots. It's right under Salo. Svensson was caught on the blue line. And that 2-on-1 situation developed very quickly with Kurri taking that big shot on Salo.
Jari Kurri lets this one go. The Finns taking advantage of Svensson being caught off ice. Svensson trying to get back into play. Kurri knows what he's going to do all the way. He lets it go. Salo has enough of it to hold on. Johansson's there to help out. As Kurri came in for the rebound, he poked at it. The Swedes just sort of pushed him away. That's out of respect. Earlier, Paolo, and earlier than that, Verta got involved around the net, and the Swedes punished him badly for it.
Ojanen against Larson. That comes back to the blue line. Flipped high in there as Peter Anderson picks it up. The seconds ticking down in this first period, and what a period it's been. Laukkanen spins around and rattles it off the woodwork, and that goes over the blue line. Jonsson, Larsson, Laukkanen chases him. Coming up to the final 2.5 minutes, and the Swedes having difficulty getting this attack going.
7 seconds left on Niemanen's penalty.
Quick changes all around for both teams here in the first period. Larsson rather goes in and takes over the face-off duties as Keskinen gets it back. Stromberg. Nieminen steps on the ice, and the Finns are back at full strength. That goes into the corner for Stromberg. Quickly up on the wing, Peter Anderson fires it all the way in.
Mikael Anderson ahead of the play. Offside the call again. Both teams are at full strength.
1-1 the score here in the first period. Sundin got the first goal for Sweden, and Kapanen, number 24, came back for Finland, and that's the way it stands right now. In their first game, the Finns tied the Czechs at 4, and the Swedes tied the Norwegians at 3. Stillman races back, picks this up. Stillman. Berglund. Stillman. Long clearance is a terrible one. Makala feeds it over. Makala waiting for the return pass. It didn't come from Nieminen. Keskinen was taken down in the circle, and it's still a Finnish puck out there. Well, Makala lost it in the circle, and they had a golden opportunity to go ahead just before the whistle blows here. Jonsson cruises out front. Keskinen now goes in. Flipped up to the blue line, and the Finns are doing a great job of checking in the neutral zone. Hansen breaks to the left as that is pushed all the way down the rink. Lehtinen waiting for it out front. The pass doesn't come his way as Koivu gets it and throws it over onto the left wing. Johansson was taken out of the play on the boards. Comes in the near side. Svensson gets it up off the woodwork. Hansen puts it deep, and Salo gives it to Svensson. Svensson, a long clearance. Kiprusov is there for the Finns. Kiprusov being shadowed by Larsson. Verta puts it up on the wing. Koivu backhands it in. Salo backhands it, or forehands it out rather. Svensson, a little tip through, and Svensson again finds he has the puck. The last 30 seconds now as Koivu goes in, tries to jam it in on the short side, and the Finns attempting to capitalize on some sloppy play. Jutala shot, just missing the far side, and Johansson got a piece of it. Both teams going for a change as the seconds tick down here. Sundin slashing along the far boards. Helminen took a big chop. That comes back. Jutala lets the shot go. Larsson gives that a poke, and there goes the buzzer to end a very fast, very exciting period. It's still not over.
Sundin again getting involved. He's off to a chippy start in this game. Really throwing himself around. He's thrown a couple of cheap shots in this first 20 minutes of play. The Finns are going to have his number.
Officials keep them apart as they refuse to go to the dressing room after 20 minutes of hockey. It's a 1-1 scoreline, and this is a great game.
Championship hockey all the way here. A couple of class acts, and they are really doing battle with each other. There is no love lost between these two Scandinavian powers.
Well, we joined the game at the 6-minute mark because we stayed with the cycling, and during the first 6 minutes, they both made impressions on each other. A lot of physical stuff. As we said, Laukkanen was pounded into the boards. One or two other guys were hit very hard. These guys mean business. They want to be in the Final Four at the end. We're going to take a break now. Stay with us. We got the news, and we've got more action from Italy. Welcome back to the second period. Paul Ferguson here with Richard Beaupre. It's a 1-1 scoreline. The Swedes struck first with Sundin, and then Finland's Kapanen came back later in the period to make it one apiece. Physical stuff if you've just joined us. This one really caught fire from the opening face-off. The Swedes still smarting from their 3-3 draw with the Norwegians. The Finns had a similar result, but with a much more difficult team. The Czechs' fourth war. It was a tie for both teams, and they want to climb up the table. They need points to get into the final four in their group. The Finns playing from right to left. Laukkanen fires it all the way in. That's kicked into the corner. Keskinen tries to work it out from behind the net. Laukkanen gets a handle on that one. Jonsson got a piece of it. Now the Finns working up Makala. Keskinen. Makala spun out of the play on the wing, and the Swedes with Jonsson. Short pass. 3 Swedes hitting the blue line. That's tipped all the way in and flipped all the way around to the near side. Peppered back in. Deflected right out again, and Johansson puts a slap shot in onto the backboards. Finland trying to get it out of the zone. That comes aimlessly into neutral ice territory. Johansson reached for it. Sundin let the shot go. That deflected away, and Sundin has been in the thick of everything out there. Svensson shot it in. Svensson back of the blue line, can't control this. Svensson in trouble. Losing out, offside is the call. Svensson got caught. We saw him get caught in the first period that gave Curry an opening. Difficult puck to control along those boards.
Peltonen going in hard against Svensson. He does his job. He gets Svensson off the puck. As Lehtinen came in and poked it through, he thought he was off to the races, but the player who had taken Svensson out carried himself over the blue line, and offside was the call.
Helminen against Karnbach. That trickles back to the Finnish defense and shot all the way in. Sweden without several key players that were on the Olympic team. Naslund, Hackenlube, Rudmark, Forsberg. These guys are dearly missed out there. That comes all the way around to Kapanen. Kapanen tries to feed it through. Sundin intercepts that. Sundin gives it up. The return pass. Sundin splitting the defense, goes in. Hämäläinen goes after him along with Stromberg. Double teaming Hämäläinen stays with him, and back come the Finns. 2-on-2 situation. Everyone trying to get back. Salo can't get the rebound on that, but it bounces away with Jari Kurri working out front. Stillman rather shoots it around the boards, and we have another whistle on the play as the officials go over to get another puck.
Finns giving Sundin a lot of respect earlier. Stromberg just gets the hip out. That is an excellent check. It's just enough to spin Sundin around. Hämäläinen was already trying to get back into the play. 2-on-1 there. The Finns doing everything they can do to get Matt Sundin off the puck.
And the forward Kapanen got back to clean up the mess. The shot deflected away. Larson gives that a tip high and out of the zone all the way down the ice. Boos from the Finnish supporters. Berta back there deep.
Bird has been throwing himself around, played 245 games with the Buffalo Sabres, no stranger to the rough stuff. Goes out hard every time he gets the chance to play against the Swedes.
Earlier today, the USA beat Norway 7-2, and the Germans shut out Great Britain 4-0. Ojanen with Kiprusoff moving right up onto the wing from his defensive position. Sweden coming out of the zone quickly. Long shot. Anderson getting a piece of that, and so did Mulish.
Hard-working Dakel getting in there for a rebound. That wasn't going to happen as Mulish saw him coming all the way. Big shot taken from the blue line by number 23, Mikkel Anderson.
Mulish, 30 years old, spent some time in Minnesota and San Jose. Knows what it's like to play at the highest level. kicked over the red line. The Finns now set it up in their own zone. Finland coming back on the attack. The Swedes are stacking the red line as that shot in by Keskinen. Nieminen goes in now to put a stick in, brings his man down. Pump to the far side. Keskinen goes in hard. That's thrown into center ice and popped right back in. The Finns come out of the zone and the Swedes pick it up and try to move it down the ice. Bergqvist being hit there along the boards as Bergqvist brought that forward, and both teams chopping and hitting off the play out there. Nieminen putting in the muscle. Jonsson tries to go back. Keskinen can't get the shot away. Nieminen eventually got the wood to the puck. Nieminen now taps it into the corner. Shot from a sharp angle, goes in front of Salo. Hämäläinen takes his time, looks around and throws it along the boards. Hämäläinen along the along the boards again rather, can't keep it in as it goes out over the blue line. The Finns coming out of the zone and quickly right back in. Hämäläinen flips it high behind the net. Lehtinen reached out for that. Alatalo there. Koivu moves in quickly. Koivu trying to get a stick in there. Karnbach can't do anything about it. The shot wide of the target. Hämäläinen picks it up at the hash marks. Throws it right back in. Orenskog flips it to the far side. That goes as far as the blue line and trickles out into neutral ice territory. Good spell now from the Finns. Right up the middle. The shot. Peltonen. No power on the shot at all. Koivu puts it in. Peltonen, Koivu, back to Peltonen almost. The Salo is there. Salo's out of his net. Tremendous stuff by the Finns as they run the Swedes ragged for this moment anyway here in the second period. Koivu and Peltonen combining nicely around the net.
Good work by the Finns. Salo shooting the puck at Koivu after the play and then having a little go at him. Great move earlier by Peltonen. Spins around, gets the puck, didn't get much on the shot. The action continued and the Swedes were under extreme pressure. You can see very slowly number 3, Peter Anderson, pulling himself up off the ice. He took his time and he's not happy with the official.
Galinovsky, the Russian referee, took a mouthful there. Anderson wanting a penalty, didn't get it.
No, there are some words that are universal, and there was no doubt that the referee knew exactly what Anderson meant. He wasn't pleased at all. He took a couple of good chops.
Helmanen now has a go. He wants the face-off in the zone. Salo just grabbed that with the pad as he slid out, and the shot came in, and that was tucked underneath the goalie.
Equipment managers have full rapport of tools and things they have to do on the bench. Player losing an edge and the stone comes out very quickly.
Galinovsky directing traffic out there. Koivu goes into the penalty box. Took a long time for the call to be made. Koivu's still shaking his head. He doesn't know what's going on. Jonsson is in there too. Pushed up onto the left wing, Johansson, the big number 34 for Sweden. Johansson takes the shot and that's stopped in the circle. The Finns, who are skating a lot harder than Swedes right now, breaking down the ice. That didn't work. Svensson trying to move it on his own. Flipped in and Mulish kicks it in the corner. Hansen and Jari Kurri collide and work together. The Finns back on the attack. Coming up to the 5-minute mark, Kiprusoff brought heavily into the boards. Hansen is there. Kiprusoff gets up slowly.
Svensson knows he's in trouble. The referee has already made his decision. Kiprusoff smothered out of the play. The Swedes are going to go to the penalty box again. Svensson putting the grab on Kiprusoff and tackling him down onto the ice.
Easy one to call. for the referee. Holding on Svensson. Things are getting crowded in there for the Swedes. The sparks always fly when these two teams get together, but this is something special here in the '94 World Championships. Good crowd, good atmosphere, and a good hockey game. Keskinen gets set as this is deep in Swedish territory. Keskinen kicks it forward and then back. Kiprusoff fires it onto the wing. Keskinen, Kiprusoff, Makala moves in front. Keskinen, 4-on-3. Keskinen all the way back to the blue. Kiprusoff fakes the shot. His pass is batted away by Stillman. Keskinen calling for it on this side. Kiprusoff wants it at the top of the slot area and he gets it. Keskinen fakes, tries to get in front. Kiprusoff lets the shot go. Salo went down, that's deflected away. Time ticking down on the coincidental penalties, 45 seconds remaining, and still pressure from the Finns. Kiprusoff feeds it up to Keskinen. Keskinen takes his time as he tries to walk through the circle. Kiprusoff back to Keskinen, right in front. And Berta just couldn't get the lumber on that as it goes back to Kiprusoff. Back to Keskinen, the shot. Salo makes a save out of his net.
Salo coming out, taking a lot of the net away from Keskinen as he teed it up in the slot. The Finns applying good pressure, moving the puck around. The Swedes with 3 men on the ice trying to rotate back and forth. Momentarily caught out of the play. Salo saving the day with a nice save off Keskinen.
Excellent pressure from the Finns as they work this power play. Nieminen against Anderson. Mikael Anderson chops at that. Curry is there. And once again, the Finns set it up. Jutala, Curry, Jutala. Jutala's got the big shot. Jutala faking that shot using Curry. Rink wide pass back to Jutala, back to Curry. That's deflected away. Still a power play, 5-on-4 situation right now, and more pressure from Finland.
Jansson and Koivu back on the ice.
The Swedes outshot the Finns in the first period 10-9. Things are different in this period, that's for sure.
That shot is Salo's all the way. Curry, Nieminen, Jutala moving the puck around nicely. The Swedes have pretty good position on this one though. Nieminen's toward the front of the goal, but Johansson's not far away from him. The save was made off the stick of Jutala.
Salo at least is being given the opportunity to see these shots. He's moving out to the top of the crease, cutting down the angle, staying up on his feet, and staying square to the shooter. Peltonen now steps in. Lehtinen overskates that, and the Swedes get it out of the zone and down the ice. Kiprusoff working with Berta back on the D. Koivu in front, takes the pass, moves up on the right side. Koivu back onto the left side. Kiprusoff sends it in to Salo, who just hangs on to that and forces another face-off.
Salo not taking any chances. 14 seconds remaining on the Swedish penalty. An important face-off. The Swedes would like to ice the puck one more time.
6:45 gone on the period. No scoring in this period so far. It's a 1-1 game out there. Anderson up against Koivu. Koivu gets it back. That goes over the line. Kiprusoff couldn't trap it. Anderson chases. Kiprusoff goes for a skate. Peltonen is up on the wing and he gets the pass. 3 seconds on the power play. Kiprusoff seems to be leading it out there. The Swedes are back at full strength and a big hit on Kiprusoff. He goes to the bench right away. Tipped off the boards and the Swedes back at full strength move it into the zone. Larson clearing pass right in front as Koivu can't handle that out to the red line. Shot right back in, and Sundin just lets it ride. Hämäläinen is there. Hämäläinen elects to go up on the left wing to Lehtinen. Lehtinen has that shoot down the ice, and the Finnish player Marco Palo goes in hard, even though he knew he couldn't get to that one. Sundin out front, back on the attack now. Coming back, Hornskog goes in to help the defense. Offside is the call as Keskinen, Ojanen rather, brought it in over the line.
Ojanen faked the shot, waited just a second too long. The Finns couldn't hold up at the blue line. The Finns finally managed to change on the fly. Koivu's line had been out there for quite a while.
Both teams taking their time to change their lines out there. As we get set for this face-off, officials calling them together just outside the blue line. Hornskog, Keskinen. I really don't understand what the problem is out there. It's like playing hockey with a school teacher in front of you. These officials sometimes become very pedantic. Why kick a guy out? They hadn't done anything. Okay, they don't get set right at the beginning, but, well, you tell me. You played center.
It's also a neutralized face-off. Just drop the puck.
Scores! Well, maybe it worked to the finishing advantage. Nieminen went in. Big goal.
The linesman slowing things down, taking his time, getting everybody ready. The Swedes sat on their heels for a second or two too long as the Finns quickly came right into Swedish territory and buried their second goal of the game. Nieminen getting high fives on the bench, and why not?
Nieminen, Makala, and now Keskinen, not Curry, working hard out there.
Makala to Nieminen. Nieminen is a sharpshooter from the slot area, and he pinpoints that one.
Kapanen drops it back to Helminen, who pushes it in. Curry, who's moved onto that line, is tied up, and his stick is held as that floats to the far side. 2-1 the score now. The Finns are in the lead for the first time in this game. Puck held against the boards. And we'll have a face-off as the Canadian and the Russian linesmen move in quickly to separate these players.
Things are still very tough along the boards. Both teams really laying the body on each other.
Kiprusoff flips that into the zone. Salo slows it down. Jansson waits out front. And the Swedes coming up now. Svensson, long pass off the boards. Kiprusoff getting back in a hurry. Loose puck in front. Hansen can't get a handle on that. It goes all the way back, and Peter Anderson picks it up. Throws it over to an open wing. Jansson. Berglund is back, and the Swedes wait for the change, move up quickly into neutralized territory. Curry getting back in a hurry. Backhands it out of the zone. Jansson collects and just drives it right back in, all the way around the wing. Picked up on the far side. Hansen is smothered by Berta. A loose puck. Helminen tries to get it free, and he does. Good work by Helminen. Karnbach tries to take Kapanen out of the play, who got the pass over. Curry is stopped in his tracks by Anderson. Bouncing, wobbling puck, and Berglund gives it to Johansson. Johansson's shot is high and in the corner. Sundin collects. Trickles that back. Bergqvist taken out of the play. Curry. Curry working with Helminen, and that's a long clearance. Johansson happy just to drive it back in. The Finns unable to get the line change that they desperately need. Hämäläinen gives that a little flick. Great pressure as Johansson keeps it in once again. Bergqvist is there. The Finns elect to go in front of the net, and Curry says fire it out of the zone. Kapanen reaches up for that. They want to get the change. Johansson puts it into neutralized territory. Long clearance in. Fresh legs getting out on the ice as Stromberg gives it to Hämäläinen. He can't control it. It comes along the boards. Koivu races quickly into the corner with Anderson. No contest there. Coming out to Sundin. Dropped in his tracks. Loose puck still in front. Bergqvist. Loose puck there. Sundin took a swipe at it and missed it completely. Back come the Finns on the wing. Koivu coming up quickly on the left side. He's poke checked out of the play. Lehtinen goes in against Shodin. Shodin pokes that away. And the Swedes coming up slowly. Johansson doubles back. Johansson hits the blue. Slows it right down as he runs for the left side of the rink. Gets it over. Loose puck going along the boards, and the Finns collect and bring it out to the top of the circle, out into neutralized territory. Shot going in by Paolo. Salo collects the shot from Paolo.
And there aren't a lot of whistles. Line changes on the fly are critical. Shot taken by Bergqvist. Sundin tries to have a go at the rebound. It doesn't bounce his way. But you can see when someone has changed on the fly, as Paolo quickly got himself into the play, you can see blue legs and they were fresh. Number 13 had a good stride going for himself.
Curry and Helmanen rather had spent a long time on the ice and were trying to get off, but the puck was in the Finnish zone. And they just couldn't move it. Shot right on the target. 11 minutes, 10 seconds gone on the second period. That's tipped high out of the zone. Kiprasov is back there. He's being chased by Dekel. Kiprasov with a burst of speed drops it back, and that's out of the zone into neutralized territory, and then quickly shot back into Finnish territory. Kiprasov all over the ice, working well with Virta. Long rink-wide pass, and the Finns now struggle to get out of the zone. A moment earlier, it was the Finns who applied the pressure. The Swedes have picked up their game. Anderson shoots it in. A little tap forward, and the Finns trying to get those changes in quickly as that comes back. Svensson is there to pick it up, being shadowed by Oljanen, but the whistle blows.
Finally a whistle. We haven't had that many of them. Both teams will comfortably and easily change now. Defense and forwards making their way on and off the ice. The crowd enjoying an excellent hockey game between these two teams.
Keskinen against Urenskog. Keskinen tries to break through. Puck in the high slot area, and that's whistled down. Hooking is the call.
The crowd had called that one ahead of the Russian referee. Everybody in the building reacting as Janssen pulled his man down. Jorgen Janssen, that is, number 20. The Finns coming over the blue line. Makala pulled down. The Finns will have the man advantage.
Face-off on the Finnish side of the red line as Berglund goes up against Keskinen. Berglund wins that battle, and the Swedes with Shodin take it for a skate. Makala chases, Shodin picks it up, flips it over, and that's driven all the way down the ice. Stromberg had problems controlling that. Hämäläinen tidied up. Hämäläinen coming up to the blue, lays it off, and the Finns now looking to get it set with Stromberg, the big defenseman, putting it right in front. Stillman misses that, and Makala working with Nieminen. Stillman goes after him. Hansen now goes after his man at the top. Hämäläinen flipped it all the way in. Nieminen. Stromberg calling for it along the blue as Hämäläinen taps it along the boards. Keskinen on the near side corner. Keskinen looking to flip it in, decides to hang on to it. Perhaps spent a little too much time on the puck. That squirts all the way back. The shot. Salo was there. Nieminen right out front. Hämäläinen was there. Stromberg moved in. A bouncing puck, and here come the Swedes. This could be dangerous. The Swedes coming forward, 2-on-2 situation. Hansen overskates it, taps it into the corner. Hansen goes back for it, and Keskinen takes him out of the play. as that's cleared in front of the net, and the big center Keskinen got it forward. The return pass along the blue line. Hämäläinen can't control that, and the players looking tired. We've had a long time yet again without a whistle.
Tired indeed. Both teams needing a change. Peltonen on the ice now for Finland.
Anderson tipped it in. The Swedes going through a good spell. Johansson guarding out front as Jutila picks it up. 5 seconds on the power play. The Finns come down one more time. Ojanen overskated it. Back at full strength. Sweden now on the attack. A shot coming from a sharp angle as Jörgen Jansson got out there and let it fly in a hurry.
Fresh out of the penalty box. Jansson having a good shot, but it went wide. Action coming right at Mulish. Still tough checking. Jutila taking his man out.
Deflection into the crowds and and another souvenir of these, the 1994 World Championships. Another deflection as Lehtinen broke up. 2-1 the score here in Italy. The Finns leading the Swedes. We're live on Eurosport in the second period.
The only goal coming from Nieminen. That line working nicely together. Nieminen, Mäkelä, and Keskinen now the new addition to that.
Back into neutralized territory. The high shot is gloved down. Salo doing the business out there as Stillman tries to bring it out. Good pass up onto the wing. And another whistle on the play. Well, we went a long time without a whistle, and now we've had a couple of short shifts out there just to change it up nicely.
Both teams need to go back to the short give and goes. That's when each club seem to get things going. They've gone to the longer passes. Might have something to do with the fact that it's been so close checking. The teams are getting tired. They're not going as hard as they were at the start of this game.
This is action from Group B, and the top 4 teams in this group of 6 will go through to play the top 4 teams in the group of 6 over in the A pool. Sundin shot right on the target. Mulish came out. Hämäläinen can't get that away. Stromberg having problem right out front. Sundin takes the shot. Good save by Mulish right in front of the net. Paolo raced after that as it comes all the way back onto the D. Alatalo breaks to the right. Hämäläinen on the left. Hämäläinen rink-wide pass. Not a great one from him, and the Finns will have to try it again. Sundin is having a good game out there. Call him chippy, call him dirty, whatever but he's been involved in just about everything. Shodin went high on Alatalo. Alatalo keeps in the game, and the Swedes now work it out slowly from their zone. The pass goes up onto an open wing as Larson is taken heavily into the boards and out of the play. Nieminen tries to block that. Keskinen does with a good stick on it and throws it up onto the wing. Everyone for Sweden getting back in a hurry. Keskinen in the corner. Nieminen's got Mäkelä. Nieminen tries to do it himself. Can he do it himself? Nieminen goes in. Salo goes down as that trickles through. Interference call on the play.
Nieminen moving with the puck. Appeared to be going for goal. It wasn't going to happen. The referee called interference on the play. That goes against the Finns. Picks being set up, trying to clear a bigger path for Nieminen as he was going for the net. Action earlier as Sundin had a great chance, an excellent save by Mulish. Nieminen dropping his shoulder, carrying on. The big hit being thrown away from the play. Interference to call, and the Swedes will have the power play.
Jalinovsky trying to settle this one down. Mäkelä through a great hit right in front of the net, putting a pick up there. Helmanen, poke check inside the blue. Sundin starts it up. Helmanen goes after it. Sundin lays it off on the left side. That comes into the corner and all the way out to Svensson. Svensson pops it back into the corner. 1:35 on the power play. 3.5 minutes on the period. Tipped away. Curry waiting for that to bobble out. Doesn't happen. From behind the net, Sundin. Mulish stays up in the corner. Sundin throws it to the far side, all the way back to the D. Peter Anderson wants it on this side, but Johansson's got it on the far blue. Moving right in front. Mulish went down. The puck is there. And it's out over the blue line. Mulish rather ducking and diving as Johansson goes back. And the Swedes unable to score. Bergfist. Poke check on him. Finland working hard in neutral ice territory. Back come the Swedes. Sundin slowing it down. Anderson. Johansson and Sundin. Sundin with the puck. Right through. Bergfist on the far side, unable to make the tip. Anderson, the shot. Mulish down. Bergfist went in along with Johansson, and they're paying the price.
Virta again comes in hard to protect Mulish. The Swedes really weren't taking a chop at all at Mulish, but Virta came in and assessed his power straight away. He just came in with the fist going. Great action from the Swedes. Shots coming from all over the place. A big shot coming from Anderson from the point. Puck is moved over. Anderson lets it rip right at Mulish, and he holds on. Bergfist sniffing around for the rebound, but he's only going to take abuse for that.
Excellent stuff around Mulish. Both goaltenders coming up big in this second period. Makela still sitting it out in the penalty box for interference. Berglund is told to get out. Karnbach steps in. Koivu also moves out. These officials not tolerating any movement out there. Koivu happy to flip it down the ice. Stillman is there for Sweden. Shodin moves to the far side. Stillman. Pass up onto the left wing. The Swedes quickly down the ice, dropping it back. 10 seconds on the power play. Berglund is out front. Hämäläinen grabs the puck, takes his time and whistles that one down the rink. Makela steps on the ice and the whistle blew, but the whistle blew before he stepped on the ice.
The Finns yelling and screaming at the officials. The referee doesn't want to know.
Jutila is having a go at the far face-off circle. Keskinen is told to go away by the Russian referee. They're saying, the Finns that is, that are saying that the whistle blew before he got on the ice, but the officials are saying he got on the ice a little late and that the penalty had already expired. Berglund steps in, the face-off deep in Finnish territory. The Finns grab it, and they survive that incredible power play by the Swedes. Makela goes to the far side. Shot all the way in. Salo tips it over. Stillman couldn't control that. Nieminen had a poke at it. Makela has got it now. Keskinen tried to slow it down. Laukkanen for Finland. Flips it high back into the zone. Stillman back deep, working with Shodin. Nieminen closes him down as that comes up onto the wing to Berglund. Berglund running out of places to go. Trapped along the boards. Play allowed to continue with Karnbach. Karnbach rattles that off the woodwork, and we'll have another face-off as it went a bit too high.
Finns having to stay awake even on the bench. Karnbach's flip went onto the Finnish bench and came back onto the ice. A quick chance for Mulish to have a breath. and get himself a quick drink.
O'Yannon and Larson will do the honors. Excellent atmosphere. As I said before, these teams really taking it to each other. Kiprusoff dancing in his own zone. Kiprusoff, who carries the puck more and more. Push that along the boards. Johansson lost control. Alatalo spins him around. O'Yannon goes in, tries to upset Svensson, wins the puck. All the way back, Kiprusoff lets the shot go. That misses the target and bounces off the back of the net. Alatalo looking for places to go. Larson, right in the circle, had no option but just to get it out of the zone. Paolo rides interference on Dekel as Kiprusoff puts it along the boards. Not a good clearance from him. Verta tries to tie up his man. Loose puck, some clutching and grabbing there, but Larson overskates it, and now the Finns come up quickly. A 2-on-2 situation. Svensson is always going to win this one. Svensson is tied up with Paolo on his back. Puck going into the corner with Paolo again. This guy never stops skating. Larson in all sorts of trouble. Gets a little help from Svensson, and the buzzer goes to end a second period that was non-stop from beginning to end. Only one goal in it. Nieminen coming up big to make it 2-1 for Finland over Sweden.
Another very close period. Nieminen putting the only goal in the net, as you said, Paul. The Finnish forechecking is bothering the Swedes. They are really being aggressive, and the Swedes are finding it difficult to get out of their own end. When they do, it's only through force that they're muscling the puck out.
Both goaltenders coming up big in this one. I'm sure we're going to see more action like we just saw in a moment's time. We'll be back. Short break coming up. We are back live with the third and final period of this game between Finland and Sweden. The Finns are leading it 2-1. Kapanen scoring for Finland along with Nieminen. Sundin got the first goal of the game in the first period, and that's the way it stands. It's been physical, it's been fast, it's been exciting, and I must say we really have enjoyed this one.
It's been an excellent game right from the start. Hard hitting right off the opening face-off. Both teams settled into it, and then we went to a bit of a wide open game, and then it tightened up again. A couple of good offensive chances from both sides. We've seen the puck moved around nicely on the power play. Both teams showing that they're good at killing penalties off as well, and it's anybody's game. I still think that if the Finns can maintain the intense forecheck that they've really put up against the Swedes for 2 periods, they should come out winners in this game.
The Finns struggled in their first game, as we've said a couple of times. They could only draw against the Norwegians. Let's say that again. The Swedes struggled in their first game. That's what I'm trying to say. They could only draw 3-3 against the Norwegians. The Finns 4-4 against the Czechs, but a different caliber team out there. The Czechs are hot. They really do look explosive. They've lost Roman Hammerlick on the defense, and that could take its toll. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see as this tournament goes on. But the Czechs are definitely going to be there near the end. How's that for sitting on the fence?
That's not bad, because earlier you were saying the Americans are going to be there in the end, and the Canadians and the Russians, so you're not doing bad, Paul.
I've named everybody but the British, haven't I?
You've left out the Swiss, and that's only because they have to wait till next year to play, but that's not bad. I'll stay with you on that. I've got to keep defending you.
The Swiss are coming. The Slovaks were promoted from Pool C to Pool B, and the Swiss, who were relegated last year, are now back in Pool A for next year. So who's going to go down? We'll find out at the end of the week, and stay with us. We'll have all the action here on Eurosport. Mulish in the Finnish goal, taps it up, and Alatalo sends it along, but Anderson is there to pump it right back into the zone. High puck goes over the plexi, and we'll have a face-off. Both teams have really good breakout plays and are capable of explosive starts, so you can watch for anything. Long passes seem to be the order of the day, right up the middle, as Sundin has tried several times to split the defense out there.
The Finns at least find themselves up a goal coming into the third period. They had to come back 3 times against the Czech Republic for a hard-fought tie.
Johansson and Koivu square off, and that comes back to Kiprusov. Kiprusov moving through the blue line. The shot. Lehtinen really let that one fly. Lehtinen's out front. Koivu's trying to work hard in the corner. Koivu and Peltonen. Peltonen falls. Lehtinen can't get the shot away. Johansson unable to get it out of the zone. Johansson manhandling Lehtinen, hammers him into the boards. Another big hit in neutral ice territory as the pace picks up right away at the start of this third period. Peltonen unable to clear that behind the net. The loose puck picked up by Lehtinen, flipped into neutral ice territory. Koivu sends it deep and goes for a change. Stillman brings it out to the blue. Pass up on the wing. Shodin hammers it in. Hämäläinen is there. Tip beyond Hämäläinen to Helminen. Good pass by Curry to Helminen. Helminen is ridden out of the play. Larson now tries to get it over onto the wing, and that doesn't work. Curry working with Helminen. Now going the other way, racing in is Anderson. Curry getting back. Dakel. Hämäläinen to the far side. He can't get there first. Anderson shoots it right back in. Bouncing puck comes out and Hämäläinen grabs it. The Finns happy to shoot it down the ice as they go for a change. Icing is the call.
Hämäläinen took a look at Curry way over on the right side, but made the right decision not to try that pass. The Swedes were waiting for that. Hämäläinen wanted a line change anyway, so the best thing to do was just to send the puck down the ice.
Face-off in Finnish territory as Ojanen goes up against Oranskog. Puck back over the red line. And Finland coming out in numbers. 3 guys hitting the red. Palo shoots it in. Ojanen will go in quickly along with Alatalo, but Salo hangs onto it.
Kenny Jonsson back there to help Salo. Alatalo was coming in very quickly. Puck thrown in by Palo. The Finns pushing hard. Salo doesn't like what he sees.
Palo, Salo, Alatalo. Sounds like it should be an Italian game out there. Like a carnival atmosphere here with people dressing up in strange gear. Shot in by Jutila. Goes to the far side. Coming along the boards. Laukkanen calling for it back of the blue. Karnback taking off the puck. All the way back. Shot goes in and it's wide of the target. The Finns missing that net as that bobbles into neutral ice territory. Jutila pass up onto the wing and goes over the red line. Back for it is Peter Anderson. Anderson being shouted by Alatalo. Alatalo stays out there. Pass up the middle. Karnback tries to break. Karnback taking off the puck and back on the attack come the Finns. Offside is the call. Berglund was getting back in a hurry.
Keskinen fresh off the Finnish bench got things going. But offsides was called. Both teams will complete their line changes. Kiprusov on the defense for Finland now as Jutila goes off. Makala comes out with his line of Nieminen and Keskinen.
Keskinen loses out on the face-off. Svensson grabs it, fires it high. Kiprusov wants it in the corner, gets it. Kiprusov fighting along the boards at the hash mark, loses out to Johansson. Sundin right in front. Johansson gunning for that. Another shot from way back. Svensson goes in, pushes it along the boards. Back there is Sundin. Berglund is out front. Bergqvist rather there, and Johansson Johansson moving in from the points. Everyone changing out there. The wingers going back to fill in for the D as they move in quickly. Berglund trying to move it along. The officials saying, keep it moving, keep it moving. Verta falls down. Svensson tries to trap it at the blue, but he fails. Svensson down. Keskinen coming up. Keskinen brings it right in. Scores! Big goal! Had so many options.
What a shot by Keskinen. Great elbow, Paul. You just caught me in the jaw. It was an excellent one. The crowd can't see that, but they certainly saw the shot by Keskinen. The Finns taking advantage of Svensson not being able to hold the puck in at the blue line. Three of them coming down, Nieminen, Makala, and Keskinen. Johansson stranded back there by himself. Great shot upstairs by Keskinen.
Well, he could have done any number of things with that puck. Roger Johansson was going back, going back, going back. Perhaps if they'd open up the backboards, he'd be out on the street now, but really, he didn't have too many options, did he? Jutila behind his own goal. Jutila hands it off, and the Finns now with Koivu being dumped, gets rid of it, throws it up on the wing. Hämäläinen shoots it in. Stillman is back there. 4 minutes, 19 seconds gone on the period, and this one has exploded yet again. Koivu goes in hard. Johansson is there. Dakel works too as Laukkanen pins Anderson against the boards. Koivu wants to get away from that one. Dakel wants to push him, wants to chop.
Dakel, when he does get out there, is very aggressive. Why not? He needs to impress Lundmark. He wants more shifts. Having a good go at Koivu. Koivu does the smart thing and gets right away from it. The Finns have got a 2-goal lead. They don't want Koivu in the penalty box.
3-1 the score. The Finns leading this one in the third period. Helminen against Berglund. Berglund kicks it back, and the Swedes need to do something in a hurry here. On the far wing, Kiprusoff goes after it, taps it along the boards, but it's not a great clearance. Kornbach keeps it in. Loose puck behind the goal. Verta is there. Verta and Kiprusoff really have been strong on the D for the Finns. Stillman cleared it along the boards, and that comes all the way back into Swedish territory. Stillman, high flick off the plexi. Kiprusoff going in hard. Helminen is there. Verta rides interference for him. Helminen and Curry now. Curry breaking into center ice. Curry on the backhand. Burst of speed. Shot. Curry picks it up. Tries to get it out front. Helminen is there back in the corner. All the way back to Jutila. The big shot. Salo. Shot again. Salo goes down. Helminen was right in there. Kapanen now squeezed against the boards as the pressure continues from Finland. Coming in from the side, the Finns looking to wrap it around. Salo from the side of the net, closing it down on Kapanen. Jonsson squeezing him out of the play. Two Finns now trapped deep. And Kornbach goes for a skate as the Swedes change up on the fly. A long flip right into Mulish. He bats it out of the zone. Good move by the Finnish goaltender.
Finally a whistle. The line changes by the Finns have been the right ones. I said Keskinen now going with Makala and Nieminen. Jari Curry moving to that line with Helminen and Kapanen, and Curry has got those two guys flying.
.33-year-old LA star Jari Curry doesn't look like he's moving, but this guy can motor.
One little burst of speed on that last shift, and he had 19-year-old Kenny Jonsson out fishing.
Peter Anderson lays it up on the left wing. A bit of a hospital pass there as Stromberg took advantage of it and laid his man out. Ojanen drops it back. Paolo passes it back to Ojanen. Hämäläinen moves in. Ojanen moving along the hash marks. The Swedes closing down on Hämäläinen, get it out nicely, but Bergqvist couldn't handle that all the way down the ice. Sundin tries to stop it from going behind the net. Sundin wants it in the corner and gets it. Sundin moving right in there, and the Lights have dimmed. The whistle goes. Lots of boos and jeers from the crowd. They're loving this one. It's being played at an incredible pace, but you can't play in the dark.
Put your wallet in your front pocket now. They'll be taking a collection up for the electricity bill here. I don't know what's going on.
I know that when I used to ski in Italy, if you went into a bar or a shop and you paid for your whatever you purchased in lira, they would always come back to you if it was small change, and they would give you little candies instead of the change. Well, maybe they found out that they can't put these little candies into the slot to run the meter for the electricity.
Good try, Paul. I thought maybe they gave you the candies because you just have one of those smiles that says keep the change.
No way. They're going over to Sparky, the electrician, to see if he can sort this out. We need a couple of light bulbs.
He's trying to find out if anybody on the ice is in the union, and maybe they can turn the switches for him. I don't know what's going on here.
Berglund and Jutila are talking it over.
The way that these guys are hitting, they certainly don't want to be playing in the dark.
Smiles all around. They seem to think that they're going to get it together very shortly. This will give both teams an added break. It's like a timeout without taking a timeout, if you know what I mean. They can talk over their strategies. 3-1 to score. The Finns are leading the Swedes, and you can see some of the lights are out here.
This break could very well favor the Swedes because the Finns have really been on a roll. They've been putting a lot of pressure on. They've had one goal already in the period. They've got a 2-goal lead right now, and the Swedes needed something to try and slow them down a little bit and get their own act together. This could be the answer.
I think this break is going to favor us more than anybody else. It's going to be a chance to get our breath back and have a sip of water and regain our composure. This game is being played at one heck of a pace. It really has been good stuff. Often when you go into a competition that lasts 2 weeks, the first couple of games are not up to much because they're building for the final. The Swedes and the Finns anticipate that they will make it to the final four, so they don't blow everything in the first couple of games. But a lot is at stake here, a lot of national pride, personal pride, and of course both teams tied their first game, so they want to get a win under their belts. Welcome back, and all of a sudden we're alone here as we take a look at the Group A tables. The teams have gone to the bench, or to the dressing rooms rather, from their benches, and we're still trying to sort out the electrical problem here. The Canadians with 4 points, the Germans with 3 after they came up with a shutout today against Great Britain. The Russians are there with 2 points, 1 victory. The Austrians 1 point. They tied the Germans in their first game. The Italians and the Brits are struggling.
Italians have only scored 1 goal. They've only played 1 game, though. The Brits have only scored 3. They've given up 16.
The Swedes will meet the French next, and the Finns will go up against the Norwegians. The Norwegians played a heck of a first period today against the Americans, and were leading them 2-0, but then the Americans exploded with 7 consecutive goals. They really did tear the Norwegian defense apart, and the Americans, with the addition of Craig Janney, are looking very, very sharp indeed. But looking at these 2 teams now, Bopes, it's a 3-1 scoreline. If we ever get things sorted out, can you see the Swedes coming back into it?
I said right from the start of the period and also between the periods that I think the Finns are going to win this game. They came out in the 3rd period. Keskinen scored a nice goal. They've got a 2-goal lead right now. And unless this break really slows them down or does something very unusual to them, I can't see them giving it up. I think they're going to prevail and win this game.
The Swedish side, as we've said a couple of times, have lost several players. Kjellberg, Forsberg, these guys are excellent hockey players. Naslund, Hakenlube. It goes on, and can you lose? I know they've got one heck of a pool to choose from, but can you lose that many good players and then a couple of months later come back and be a strong force in a competition like this?
Well, it's hard to say, because the Americans and the Canadians always throw a team together to come to these competitions. The Russians lose numerous players every year, and the Czech Republic have lost their share of players, so everybody's really in the same boat.
The Finns are looking a lot like they did in February. They were excellent. They were an excellent hockey team then. I predicted them to win the whole thing. They picked up the bronze, but they're back, and they're back with a vengeance. We're going to take another short break. Hopefully next time things will be fixed. Stay with us. We're live. Welcome back, and as we take a look at Slappy the mascot, I can confirm now that Richard Beaupre has been appointed as president of the Slappy fan club. Slappy's biggest fan right here, Richard Beaupre. Well, the teams are still in the dressing rooms, and we're still waiting for things to get ready here so we can play a little more hockey. What a great sight. It's something you don't see in other sports. The teams, the fans, mixing in the nicest possible way in the crowd. Kids, older people, teenagers, you name it, they're all there, and they all have a great time. And it really is nice to see. The Finns are coming back, and Bopes, the Finns have taken Curry off that first line. Keskinen is back where he belongs. How do you think that's changed Niemann and Makala?
Oh, Niemann and Makala play so well together that Keskinen is an excellent little playmaker, and we saw him score a lovely goal at the start of this 3rd period. He just adds a little spark to that line. Curry is the veteran. He's got so much experience. He's playing with number 14 Helminen and number 24 Kapanen, and their game has just picked up tremendously. Kapanen's a 20-year-old kid. He started the scoring off for the Finns in this game. It's just done all kinds of positive things to this Finnish team.
Koivu at center has been working well too.
Koivu, what more can you say about that kid? I mean, he's 19 years old. There's no question about wherever he plays hockey, he's going to have a big contract with him.
They also have another line with Ojanen out there at center. This guy has been working wonders too. There seems to, every time you replace one of the older guys, the young guys, similar system to the Swedish system. Another guy comes up who can play just as well as the older guy who left.
Oh yeah, I mean, how many teams have the luxury of a 4th line being somebody like Ojanen, Palo, and Alatalo?
A lot of teams would like that as a first line.
The Finns are definitely out to prove that all the press they received during the Olympic Games, and then they just didn't quite hold up to it, and the Swedes ended up going on to win the gold, that they are going to do something about it in these World Games. And last year they were 7th. They're going to improve upon that position, I'm sure. The Swedes were 2nd last year, and they aren't going to want to relinquish that, and they want to win this competition as well.
Swedes are coming back on the ice. We take a look at their lineup. Mats Sundin has been all over the ice, working hard. I have been a little disappointed with Roger Hansen. Usually he plays a major part in a hockey game wherever he is, but he's been quiet.
He has been. Number 17, Larson, who has worked very hard, hasn't done a lot in this game, but that's easy to say from our point of view. These guys are out there, and the Finns just don't make it easy for them. The blue shirts have really been putting a lot of pressure on the Swedes right from the start.
Shodin, Peter Anderson, Roger Johansson, Stillman have all been working well on the D. Svensson hasn't been able to get the big shot away as often as he would like. And that may be easy to say for you, but it's not easy to say for me at this time of night.
It is still a team game, and if one guy is down a little bit, maybe Hansen and Larson, things aren't bouncing their way. Bergqvist and Berglund are having a good game for themselves, and they're working hard. Quick look at Karnback going around on the ice. He has really been throwing his body around the shifts that he's had out there. And number 12, Andres Dackel, who doesn't get a lot of shifts. He's only 21 years old. He's caused a lot of problems as well. He's very easy to spot on the ice. He's wearing red gloves.
Jelinovsky has called the teams together, and we're going to have the face-off in the Finnish zone. Right when the lights went out, the puck was deep in Finnish territory. 6:42 the time, 3-1 the score. We're still live on Eurosport. Big shot comes in. That took a deflection and went into the corner, pushed away behind the net. Karnback goes in, takes a poke at it. Jutila is muscling in the corner. A lot of clutching and grabbing from him as he hangs on. Anderson lets the shot go, and that goes upstairs, bounces back down, and Mulish signaling that a whistle should have been blown. That didn't happen. Nieminen pops it up to the red line. Keskinen goes after his man. Jonsson circles, throws it up the middle to Karnback. Karnback hits the red, pumps it in. Off the boards. Anderson wants it back in the blue. Makala moves in along with Nieminen, and the puck bobbles away. Anderson scrambles through neutralized territory as Makala puts it up. A 2-on-2 situation. A little tip forward, and Nieminen goes for a skate in the corner. Nieminen back to Virta. Virta shot. Salo somehow grabbed that through a crowd. Salo, that is. Salo showing, not shallow sewing. Salo showing excellent balance as he stayed on his feet and got the glove on the puck. Virta with a lot of time, let it go. Salo through the crowd, lays it right into the glove for a stoppage in play. Every time you mention that you've had a tongue twister, you talk me into one. You're breaking in those teeth for somebody, I know, aren't you?
It's part of the apprenticeship, I guess.
That goes into the corner. Johansson backing him up, and Bergqvist drops it back. Johansson trying to bring it through, and the offside whistle blows. Good call by the officials.
Bergqvist wants to have the last word, but
he was only offside by about 300 yards. I don't know. I never argued when I played hockey. I was always a nice guy. You argued all. Why do you argue on a call like that? The whistle's blown. There's nothing you can change.
Just seems like the right thing to do at the time. And then when it's all over, you have a little joke with the linesman and just shut up and go back to playing the game.
Svensson over to the far side, and that's peppered in. The Swedes need to drag something back here. The shot right on goal. Mulish quick to kick it away from Sundin as that comes to the hash marks. Dribbled around the board. Sundin is there. Johansson can't control that bouncing puck, and he shoots it into the corner instead of getting the shot on goal. Bergqvist out front as Sundin gets it back to the blue line. Stillman peppers it in. Helmanen along the boards. Curry goes after this. Curry against Svensson. Curry getting some support. Stromberg shot, scores! Big goal from Stromberg upstairs!
Great pass work again by the Finns, and Stromberg comes up with a nice goal. The puck going into Swedish territory. It's a 2-on-1. Stromberg drives that one home. Excellent pass. Curry feeding it over. Stromberg beats Salo. The Finns with a 3-goal lead.
Excellent quick break by Finland. And this is what the Finnish fans love to see. They don't get this opportunity very often. Back to the live action as Shodin collects behind his own goal. Little tap off the boards, and the Swedes now into neutral ice territory. Hansen misses the target, puts it all the way back to the blue line. Another shot comes in, deflected away, and the Finns on the run again, going back into goal. Oh, that was a pretty goal. Marco Paolo did it all on his own, pulling the goaltender out when he was sprawling all over the place. That was just ever so nice.
Oh, sweet goal by Paolo. Marco Paolo, the 26-year-old right winger who is on that sort of checking extra line for the Finns, breaks away and looks like a star on this one. He beats Stillman, goes forehand to backhand. See you later, Tommy Salo. He's out in right field on this one. Committed and down. Paolo puts the puck in the net. What a goal.
Stillman hooks him, tries to get in again, has the leg in there. Paolo is falling rather, retains his composure and puts it in the net. 5-1. Well, maybe the lights should go out in every game. The Finns are killing the Swedes right now.
The lights going out really slowed the Finns down, didn't it, Paul?
Just as you said they would. Anderson off the boards. Anderson picks himself up. Karnbach being taken out by Keskinen. Along the boards to Berta. Finland, with a couple of quick goals, have settled themselves into a comfortable position. Nieminen right in front. Salo can't get that with a stick. Berglund goes back and circles, goes for a change as that comes up onto the wing. The Swedes looking for that quick break. Sundin was right at the blue line as that came in. Good pass by Sundin to Johansson. Cleared away nicely by Berta. Calling for it on the boards. Johansson didn't get it. Good poke check there by Johansson. Gives it to Sundin. The other Johansson can't take the shot. Look at the players going in on goal there. Hämäläinen gets a push from Sundin as both of them ended up in the goal.
Sundin likes to give it a lot more than he likes to take it. That's quite obvious. Mikael Johansson going in on the goal. He's smothered by two Finns. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Sundin is taken into the net quite heavily. Hämäläinen having a say in that. Sundin has thrown his share of cheap shots and hits from behind. So that's one back for the Finns.
Johansson tries to win that draw and can't, and Curry hits the red line, flips it deep. Johansson and Kapanen. Svensson has Bergqvist on the wing. He goes up the middle, almost stolen by Laukkanen at the high slot. Nice pass up to Svensson, gets the shot away. Mulish comes up with a big save. Well, we said that Svensson was having difficulty getting that shot away. Boy, did that one whistle.
Yeah, and that wasn't the easiest shot to get off. The puck had bounced and it was standing up when he let it go. He got a lot of meat on that one. Puck going over to Svensson. Bobbles just slightly. He lets it rip. That's a good save by Mulish.
From the face-off to the top of the circle, Stillman had to get out of the zone in a hurry. Paolo taps it over. That goes nicely to Larson. He bounces it down, and the Swedes come through nicely. Coming in on goal. Shodin unable to complete the play. Stillman lets the shot go, and that goes off the plexi. Shodin trying to get back in a hurry. That's trapped at the blue line. Cleared over, and Kiprasov will get this. Dekel goes in hard. Everyone picking up the pace now as the Swedes start to throw their weight around. Berta goes down right out front. Mulish goes down. Stillman faked the shot nicely over to the far side. Shodin takes the shot right in front. Loose puck there. Mulish down and shot out of the zone. Mulish is up and down like a yo-yo.
Goaltending clinic being put on by Mulish. He is up and down very quickly, and he's made some great saves. The Swedes are trying to make a comeback.
Shodin let one fly from about 55 feet out. Jutila unable to trap that one. Peter Anderson in quickly to slice at it, and we have another face-off. 5-1 the score. The Finns have stretched their lead in this third and final period.
Cameraman following Jarmo Mullish to the corner as he goes for a skate. This guy has put in a great performance. Shodin showing some offensive ability, going right through the defense, but losing out right as he got to the goal.
Anderson fakes one way, does the 360, and comes up to the red line. That's high into the corner. Hämäläinen will get back there on Berglund. Hämäläinen pins Berglund against the boards. Karnbach is in there too. From the circle, the Finns coming out with a 2-on-3 situation. Mäkelä. Stromberg back at the blue. Mäkelä drops it back nicely. Nieminen got the pass from Keskinen. Nieminen always has a good fake in there. Nieminen puts it right in front. Keskinen trying to get the shot away, and he can't get a stick free. Karnbach for Sweden knows that he's running out of time in this game. Karnbach, good move, another good move, and eventually Laukkanen puts the stick on him and takes him out of the play. Lehtinen now goes down. Jonsson was there to clear up for the Swedes. Johansson now to the far side of the rink. Jutila tries to take his man out, and Peltonen comes up with it. Lehtinen from Peltonen. Shot goes in, and Salo is there. Peltonen on the backhand, the top of the circle. Peltonen with a lot of room to move. Johansson lets him come out front, and then Johansson steals the puck at the side of the net and puts it right into neutral ice territory. Drop pass as the Finns slow it down with Jutila. Both teams getting fresh legs out there. Sundin back on the ice, flipped all the way down the ice. And we have 6.5 minutes remaining in this game. 5-1 the score. Still being played at an incredible pace.
The pace has picked up again. The Finns with a 4-goal lead could afford that icing call. They wanted a line change. Coach Lindstrom having a quick word with Alatalo on the bench, giving the line instructions as to what he wants them to do when they get back out there.
Chopped away through neutral ice territory. Stillman passes it up on the left wing. Larson gets it up on the right to Hansen. Hansen trying to get it in front, and Dekel is there, but the puck doesn't come his way.
Off a stick, up into the netting. The Swedes trying to get back into it. The Finns are coming back in numbers, and when they do get the puck, they're going hard right back at Tommy Salo's goal.
Larson stays out there. Ojanen and Larson receiving instructions from the officials to get out of the circle. Dekel has a go at that. Hämäläinen picks it up behind the net. Hämäläinen. Pass up on the left wing. Hansen goes in and tries to break it up as Jutila brought it out of the zone. Chipped high, bouncing down in the corner, and the Swedes need to get some shots on goal. Dekel is dropped by Alatalo. Alatalo comes up on the right wing. Dekel puts in a hook, tries to steal it back. Alatalo was eventually hit by Hansen, but the puck trickles along the blue at the Swedish zone. Pass over is knocked in by Stromberg, and Stromberg gets the Finnish stick and flips it away. Not the kind of thing you should teach your children, but they do it out there. Nieminen shadows in front of the net, and the Swedes drop it back and start it up. Anderson. Anderson hits the blue line. Still with Anderson. Anderson runs out of places to go along the boards, and that puck is just tapped out in neutral ice territory. Jonsson for Sweden. Throws it all the way back. Anderson. Anderson up on the boards, less than 5 minutes to go. Gives it to Peter Anderson, and the Swedes need some shots on goal, and they're not getting them. That's tipped in as 23 Mikael Anderson went in. Offside is the call.
Team changing on the move again. Anderson going in just ahead of the play as the puck was flipped in.
From the face-off in neutral ice territory, Verta pushes it into neutral ice, and that's hammered right back in as Mulish comes out. Kiprusoff runs into a crowd. Johansson drags him down, but it's knocked down the ice, and the Swedes have to get back in a hurry. The loose puck is picked up, or almost picked up, and then given off at the hash marks. Salo goes to the side of the net as Lehtinen waits out front, and it doesn't happen for the Finns. Sundin races down. Sundin against Verta. A second attempt perhaps for Sundin. That doesn't work. Verta goes in. Taken out of the play. Johansson is right there. Now it's Sundin. Sundin taps it right out front, and Lehtinen picks it up. Slides it over onto the left wing. Svensson misses a check on Koivu, and that's batted right in front. Peltonen was there all alone, and Salo got a stick on it. Sundin all on his own gets it up to the blue line now, and the Swedes with Larson tapping it in the corner. Shodin well and truly up ice, is dragged by Hämäläinen. Hämäläinen goes down. Sticks are getting up into the far corner. Helminen goes in hard. Hansen over there, and the puck is pushed all the way down the ice yet again.
Shodin having a rough shift, really being manhandled by the Finns more than once.
It really has been hard for the Swedes to settle in the Finnish zone.
They're trying to do a lot of things on their own in this third period. Quite a few individual efforts. Berglund or Bergqvist, and most of the time Mats Sundin trying to take the Finns on by themselves. That's not the strength of the Swedes' game, and it isn't getting them anywhere right now.
All the way back to the blue. Anderson pumps that into the corner. Helminen goes in quickly. It squirts out over the blue line, all the way down the ice, and the Finns continue to shoot it down to take the pressure off. They've got a 5-1 lead in this one. Things started well for Sweden with Sundin picking up the first goal of the game, and then it was Kapanen, Nieminen, Keskinen, Stromberg, and Palo for Finland, and that's the way it stands here. We had a major delay with a power failure. But when the teams came back on the ice, the Finns seemed to be into the game a lot more than the Swedes were. Berglund from the face-off gets it back. The shot comes in. That took a deflection away, bounces to the top of the circle, and Finland getting it out with Palo trying to break through. Palo was stuck inside. The delayed offside was in effect. Peter Anderson quickly back up on the wing. Peter Anderson dribbles it up, and that's stolen by Ojanen. The Finns taking the puck away from the Swedes. Jonsson tried to bring it out. That was chopped away by Alatalo. Non-stop checking line, this Alatalo, Palo, and Ojanen line. Anderson on his own. Anderson is dropped. Going to be a penalty. Hooking is the call. Anderson trying to do it on his own, Vopes, and as you said, that's not the Swedish style. We've seen a lot of individual play out there. We're not knocking this, but it's not what they're noted for.
The Finns stepping right up at the blue line to take Anderson out. The defenseman found himself all by himself. He is mobile, but he isn't going to win that battle 1-on-5. Fortunately for him, Ojanen got the hook in there, and the Finns are penalized on the play.
Sweden have to do something in a hurry here if they want to come back into this game. They've got to do several things in a hurry. Whistle on the play, so we'll do that again. Face off again at the top of the circle. Johansson tries to push it through. Kiprusoff behind the goal, loses control. Sundin back to the blue. Pressure still on the Swedish zone right in front. Sundin unable to grab that, and the Swedes have to go deep with Stillman from behind his own net. Last couple of minutes in the game coming up as Johansson gets it back to Shodin, back into Johansson. Johansson has Sundin behind him. He gives it to Stillman. A wraparound. Sundin is there. And is it too little, too late?
Well, the Swedes aren't showing much excitement. Time is running out on them. Sundin has banged his second goal of the game into the net. Some good work by Johansson and Bergqvist. Sundin all alone. Mulish sprawled out and unable to come up with a save.
Jutila. Back to Jutila. The Kell chases him, and the Finns get it and just shoot it into Salo. That goes all the way into the corner, with Salo getting a piece of that. And the Finns now with Peltonen getting it back to the blue line. Right in front. Lehtinen took the shot. Jutila backhands that into the corner. Svensson with the seconds ticking down has to get it forward. Svensson coming up, and the Swedes breaking through nicely. Hansen going in. Pretty goal. Hansen to Svensson. It's now 5-3.
Well, you never know. There's still time on the clock. Svensson, another defenseman who is big but very mobile, starts to play out of his own zone, pushes the puck over to Hansen. Hansen immediately throws it right back on the stick of Magnus Svensson, and he has the third Swedish goal.
Big finish by the Swedes. Can they keep it up? Driving it in the zone, racing in quickly for it. Berglund along the boards, drops it back. Once again, the pressure continues. A high puck into the face there. Karnbach chases after this, comes back to the blue line, and the Swedes can't keep it in. Anderson goes back. Salo looking towards the bench as Kapanen just taps it deep. Jonsson shot it away, and it comes back to Berglund. The net wide open. Tough shot for a goaltender to save out there as Anderson works hard in the corner. Berglund is there too. Loose puck comes out in the circle. The Swedes keep it in the zone. Anderson tries to get the shot away. He's got bodies all over him. Karnbach. 2 seconds on the clock. Helmanen is in there for good measure. There goes the buzzer to end a very, very physical and exciting, fast-moving game. Finland 5-3 over the Swedes. What a game that was. We've got a couple of seconds. The man of the match.
Man of the match for Finland, I'd have to go with Nieminen, who played a very strong game. Sundin would have to be the choice for Sweden.
Well, we really enjoyed this one. We hope you did too. The Finns continue to compile points. The Swedes will have to go back to the drawing board. That's all we have time for from this game. From Richard Beaupre and myself.